hey, Zach, what are your thoughts on Marvel canonizing the Netflix Marvel shows like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and The Defenders by adding them to the MCU timeline on Disney+. It's interesting, and it's interesting for two reasons to me. It kind of, in one way, it shows just how kind of all over the place Marvel was. And at the same time, it kind of shows what they're trying to do to repair. I mean, it kind of makes sense because you already brought in Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield from Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man, the Raimi series, and they were clearly and distinctively the same characters from the Raimi and Amazing Spider-Man movies. I mean, they reference things, they even continue story arcs in relation to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. So they clearly were the same characters from the separate movie series. And for some reason, when Marvel was bringing in the Netflix series, they were like, well, the same actors, but not those characters. This isn't Netflix's Daredevil. It's now Daredevil, still by Charlie Cox, but in the MCU. And that's always kind of strange. Like, even the way they did Evan Peters in WandaVision, where he came in and it wasn't Quicksilver, it was Ralph Boner.
You're Ralph Boner?
Boner.
Like, Kevin Feige knows what us fans are thinking when he brings these characters in, when he brings these actors in who have played these iconic roles. He knows that we're getting excited. He knows that we're speculating that this is the same character. So the fact that he would go and pull like a Ralph Boner on us, I thought was kind of cruel, to be honest with you, as a fan. And when it comes to the Netflix stuff, a lot of people watched that Netflix show and didn't necessarily care about the MCU. I mean, I would say the majority of them cared about the MCU, but some of them just watched Daredevil as Daredevil. So if you've got Charlie Cox, if you've got Vincent D'Onofrio coming back, and you're presenting them as Kingpin and Daredevil once again, you're going to have those people who watch Netflix shows going, all right, my characters are back. If you put on a different show for them with the same, they're going to feel duped. They're going to feel like they just got tricked. So it didn't always make sense to me personally that they were going to be different characters, but not on the Netflix show. Now you've got this whole turnaround happening where you see the rumors that they're bringing in Karen and Foggy back from the Daredevil show. We heard a couple months ago, back in 2023, that they are scrapping the Daredevil show in its current iteration. They're going back to the drawing board. I suspect that has to do with making the show connected to the Netflix series and just continuing off of the Netflix series instead of trying to do this weird hybrid of their Netflix characters that are now in the MCU by the same actors, but they're not the Netflix characters exactly. So I thought the way that they were doing it was kind of mind-boggling. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense. If you can bring in these Spider-Man as the same characters, why can't you do the same with the Netflix? Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Marvel going retroactively to their old projects and bringing them into the MCU fold, and just like I think it's getting messy, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's getting messy is because now where does the MCU begin? It's all just MCU, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's all just MCU. I'm not the hugest fan of that aspect, but yeah, if you're going to bring these characters into the MCU, bring these characters into the MCU. I think it's unfortunate it took them this long to realize that, and now they've got all these problems with the Daredevil series, but that is my thought on that. I think in the end it'll be a positive move, and hopefully they can do it in a way where even if you didn't watch the Netflix series, because I never watched the Netflix series, without watching the Netflix series, hopefully you'll still be able to follow everything and be able to just jump right in with everyone else. Well, thank you very much for checking out this clip from our live show that we do every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time called Zach Milne Talks Live. If you like talking movies, if you like talking movie news, why don't you consider hitting that subscribe button before you leave? We do that on this channel all the time. But if you still need some time before you fully commit, you can check out the full video this clip is from right here, and you can check out another video over here. The subscribe button's right here.